We had not one, not two, but three rookie quarterbacks make their debut in the NFL this weekend. That's right, week 5 is in the books, and I've got the 10 hottest players coming out of this week and some big takeaways, some massive learning lessons, some really interesting stats to share with you guys. So let's dig in. Number 1, tell me when the last time you heard this. The New York Jets win in a blowout. Breece Hall was a big part of this, putting up almost 31 fantasy points on 18 carries for almost 100 rushing yards, 5.4 yards per carry, a touchdown, long of 17, plus 2 receptions for 100 yards. And Zach Wilson continued to show some growth against a difficult defense for young quarterbacks to face. He finished 14 for 21, 210 yards with 2 big-time throws and no turnover-worthy plays. This is only his 3rd career start without a turnover-worthy play. It's also important to note that Skyler Thompson wasn't supposed to see the field this early on in his career, and given the circumstances, it's hard to complain about what the 7th round draft pick from this year displayed. He was put in an untenable situation by being under pressure on 18 of 35 dropbacks. He did well to even keep his head above water, with only 2 of those resulting in sacks. But this is the recipe I told you guys about. Look at the Breece Hall going up to $120. That's just under where mine's at, and the Score Blue Auto over here that was listed for $150 sold for $75 and a best offer accepted. So you can see these XRCs will quickly disappear. Some of the auctions ending yesterday at 62. Benefits of having to buy it now. These should continue to go up throughout the week. He's obtained himself a bell cow roll here for this offense. A blue Pen Pals ink here for $71, best offer today, Monday. The Skyler Thompson purchases were flying off the shelves. You have to kind of look at the Bowman U with the first at the top right here for his stock, because that's pretty much the most readily printed card of him. Or you could look at the Panini Luminance. There were some interesting transactions here on the Luminance. Of course, Leaf Draft autograph cards. You can see him here in the Elite set. Practice uniform, Miami. $40 there for a rookie card from Bowman U with the first, numbered out of $299. $81 for the Luminance auto out of $349. That was an auction ending last night. Definitely a lot of hype has picked up for Skyler Thompson since yesterday. By the way, real quick, if you're new here, my name is Andy. Welcome to the Football Card Quest. Now, if you want the ultimate football card experience with weekly articles, a backstage pass, including a price tracking app that you see here in this video, go check it out over at www.patreon.com/footballcards. The number 2 riser right now, back on the chart. Dude, this guy's on the top 10 virtually every week he plays on the main slate, and yesterday was no exception. The Bills ran away with this one. A deep touchdown at the start of the game set the tone, and Gabriel Davis ended the game with a Randy Moss-esque stat line of 3 catches for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. He gained over 5 yards per route run. Still without TJ Watt, the Steelers' defense wasn't able to sack Josh Allen once all game. In fact, they didn't even knock him down in a pass rushing situation. Bills' first-round corner, Kaiir Elam, had an eventful day in the secondary against rookie quarterback Kenny Pickett, making his NFL debut. Elam snagged an interception on an ill-advised Kenny Pickett pass, but he also gave up 100 receiving yards on 8 catches from 11 targets. Kenny Pickett averaged just over 2 seconds per dropback, ultimately going 34 for 52, 327 yards, and an interception, no touchdowns, which we expected against this Bills defense that is formidable. You can see a new high here on the Josh Allen Optic PSA 10 of almost $2,000. PSA 10 Prism Silver Stephon Diggs from 2015 at $300. Gabriel Davis Rookie Ticket Auto, base Rookie Ticket Auto for $100, which is wild because these PSA 10 Optic cards from Josh Allen are skyrocketing up, man. If you look at the difference between what some of them sold for yesterday and buy it now for $575, $550, $590 in auction, and then you had 2 buy it nows One yesterday or a few days ago for right at 2,000. Now one today for 2,150. And when I look at the transaction, I mean, everything about it does check out. So when I come over here to the Keep 'em app, I mean, that $1,995 is a new high. So what I got to do is come over here and do the comparison between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. And Josh Allen's Optic PSA 10 only has a population of right under 1,500, whereas Patrick Mahomes has a population of 3,600. And you could see that the Josh Allen with the blue line is now above the Patrick Mahomes PSA 10 base Optic. It'll be interesting to see what Mahomes does tonight on Monday Night Football against the Raiders. But you got to think, man, these guys are going to be neck and neck as now the new young / superstar elite world beaters of the NFL. Base Prism PSA 10 chart here for Stefon Diggs. Over the past year, we are at all-time highs. Him hitting 150. He's routinely on the top 10 hype index list every week. The guy cannot be covered. He catches all sorts of passes. Still got him a touchdown in this game. Look at that, $149.99 is the latest buy it now transaction for Stefon Diggs. Still a massive opportunity. What I want to highlight here is that his population on his Prism PSA 10 only 146, and I'm still seeing a lot of raw Stefon Diggs cards selling for just a few dollars. Important to kind of pre-scan these, but if you can get these for $10, $15, I've seen these recently get up to 20. So if people are ending them in auction during the day, during the week, I think you could probably get these for around $10. They have a great grading potential here, because even if you're getting something like a 9, I still think you would be able to exponentially increase the value of this card to about $50 or $60. Even the 9 has 40 sales in the past year, population of 206, so you're more likely to get a 9. Current auction on that's going to end around $40. So, but if you get a 10, you're definitely boosting that value up to around $150 with potential for future growth. Gabe Davis Optic Hollows, I pointed those out as he was a guy that I said buy the dip on last week, so I hope you guys took my advice and bought the dip on him. Optic Hollows back up, SGC 10 up over 130, somewhere around base. Optic Hollow Raw, $13. Rookie ticket autos, like we saw, transactions all running the gambit. I mean, people are really willing to spend some really incredible money on Gabriel Davis PSA 10. Now, it's a big difference between before that game and after that game. Number 3 is Jalen Hurts. Still no surprise because the Philadelphia Eagles are still undefeated. However, this was the most difficult game for them yet. A game that looked like it was going to go to overtime until Matt Amendola's 43-yard field goal sailed wide right. It was the biggest test the Eagles have faced all season. The offense sputtered more than at any other point thus far this season, but they secured a 20-17 win over the Cardinals. And Jalen Hurts solidified his MVP candidacy. According to the Eagles and NFL PR, Hurts surpassed Cam Newton in this game for the most rushing touchdowns by an NFL QB in their first 25 career starts. And we've also seen him take this incredible leap forward in his passing accuracy in both intermediate and deep sectors of the field. Devonta Smith was a big benefactor of this yesterday, and so was Dallas Goedert. Another big day from Dallas Goedert. That has been the Arizona's weak point so far this year. AJ Brown got largely held in check. We can see Optic rookie ticket autos, $750 buy it now. The Optics are still hovering around that $75 to $100 range. What I want to point out here is the percentage change you're seeing in some of his even lesser desirable cards, but in a high graded format, like the Mosaic, like NFL debut. What about Absolute up 22%? And what I'm kind of noticing is that the cards that are already above $100, that are kind of in that triple digit price range, have kind of slowed down in terms of growth, right? You can see the average trend here for $130 on his Prism PSA 10 compared to the Optic, which is growing higher. But I expect once the Optic gets to $135, then it slows down in growth. Kind of the same thing with the base Donruss rated rookie, like Green Mosaics. The Absolutes now up to 45. All right, the number 4 and 5 risers were from the Chargers and the Browns game. It came in a losing effort, but Nick Chubb remains the most difficult man to tackle in the NFL. Of his 134 rushing yards in this game, 105 came after contact with 10 missed tackles tackles forced on the ground. That makes 32 missed tackles on the season. That's 10 more than any other runner in the NFL. Austin Eckler also had an impressive showing, turning in 5 runs of 10+ yards. Ultimately, the Chargers came away with the win here in this one. And this is my friendly reminder that Austin Eckler only has 35 different rookie cards coming in the way of the select or the rookie ticket auto. You can see some of these crazy transactions here on the rookie ticket auto PSA 10 for several $100s. The select still going for very minimal amounts. What I wanted to point out here is that the base select concourse PSA 9 sold for $75 in a buy it now transaction, which presents an insane opportunity to get raw Austin Eckler cards graded. Check out this sold auction from ComC of $550. Come over to PSA Pop Report and notice that there's only a total of 19 Austin Eckler base select rookie cards submitted to PSA. 19, 13 9s and 5 10s. 1-8. It's just such a low pop on these cards that I think presents a very good opportunity with the new submission rates of PSA to come in here and watch these in auction and potentially get them for $10 or under and submit them for grading. Create a little cachet of Austin Eckler. He's just so good. Nick Chubb continues to be one of the best running backs in the league besides guys like Ramondre Stevenson, Saquon Barkley, and Austin Eckler. Somebody spent about $1,000 on a Nick Chubb autograph patch card today, numbered out of 25 raw. The number 6 risers, Taysom Hill, the New Orleans Saints. He has these spike games, I feel like, every year. This one was pretty massive, taking 9 totes on the ground for 112 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also throwing a touchdown, racking up 4 touchdowns in this game. And we just talked about Austin Eckler. Well, Taysom Hill has even fewer rookie cards. Taysom Hill literally has only 9 different rookie cards. You come over to tcdb.com, you can see that Taysom Hill's got only 9 different rookie cards. It's the contenders or nothing. So you can see here, some of those are quite rare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those serial numbered 1 out of 1, a few printing plates, 1 Super Bowl 1 out of 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 printing plates, a playoff ticket, a cracked ice, a championship ticket out of 49, and then the Taysom Hill contenders. So, even though the Saints are not doing great right now at 2-3, technically sitting at tied for second place in the NFC South, they're also not doing bad. And Taysom Hill having a monster 4 touchdown game, you're going to see these cards sell for a lot of money. Look at the base one, raw, selling for $100 just from a singular Taysom Hill performance. Well, that's the combination of limited supply of rookie cards, big performance. No Russ, no problem. The Geno Smith train keeps rolling. The veteran quarterback went 16 for 25, 267 yards, and 3 touchdowns in this game against the Saints. I mean, it looked at a lot of times like they were going to win. There was even a big touchdown to DK Metcalf that got called back. It was an absolute beautiful throw, including 2 more beautiful deep balls to Tyler Lockett. This guy is throwing the ball so freaking good right now. Recorded 5 big-time throws in this process. This would be Geno Smith's second consecutive 90+ PFF grade, and we've already know he's ranking top in the NFL right now in deep ball completion percentage in some of the advanced accuracy metrics, and his card stock continues to climb, guys, even through this loss. If he continues to play at this level, it's important to point out there is a ton of sold transactions for Geno yesterday. I'm already seeing them go off today. I expect him to continue climbing throughout the week, and eventually people are going to start, if he continues to play like this, people are going to start buying at that higher price threshold. Here is an SB Authentic out of 325, a card that would typically before only gone for like $10 or $20, now going for about 50. The number 7 riser is Damien Pierce on the Houston Texans. The Texans literally rode this guy to their first win of the season over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Upset the Jags in Jacksonville. Damien Pierce ran for 99 yards, and 87 of those yards came after contact across 26 rush attempts. He found the end zone once, moved the chains 5 more times, and forced an incredible 13 tackles with the ball in his hands. At some points in this game, his highlights were insane. He was so hard to bring down, and you could see people are willing to drop several $100s, $285 for an immaculate collegiate 4-color patch numbered out of 10 on-card auto. Elements, Prestige, Elite, Leaf Flash autograph, more immaculate, which makes an important point here. If you're finding immaculate cards of these rookies that you know are great athletes in auction ending during the week, undervalued compared to where you see these guys pop off there at the weekend, definitely presents some nice sniping opportunities. The blue Pen Pals on-card auto here, Damien Pierce for $41. The Mosaic rookie scripts here for $49.99, and still the Legacy Silver Auto still selling for $35. Next up, number 8, Saquon Barkley, another running back who's the heart and soul of his team. A lot of times they just put the game on his back, put him in Wildcat formation, hiked the ball to him. He totaled 70 yards on the ground, another 36 through the air. In all, 42 of his rushing yards came before contact and 40 of his receiving yards came after the catch. The star running back forcing 2 missed tackles on the day. Select field level gold out of 10, selling for $400 in auction on a Monday. Contenders Optic rookie of the year in case, selling for $180 in a buy it now. The Giants are now 4-1, and the trend for most of his cards are on his graded cards are up. Let's do a Prism PSA 10 compare here between Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley, who are kind of taking over the NFL this year. Nick Chubb, a population of only 326. Saquon, with that generational first round draft talent and the big market team in New York, has a population of 939, and you can see him in the green line here, a little bit underneath that of Nick Chubb and the Cleveland Browns. But you can kind of see it bounces back and forth here depending on the timing. So this is going to depend on, whether it was an auction and what time was the auction ending, or was it a buy it now? What was the quality of the photographs? What was the seller feedback like? Those are all kinds of variables that will affect final sale price. So they're pretty much, neck and neck, kind of bouncing back and forth. Right around $70, $80, almost $100 for the Nick Chubb on the latest transaction, with $76 for the latest Saquon. All right, our number 9, we've got to mention this guy as part of the top 10 Monday takeaways risers because he's just so freaking good. He's arguably the best defensive players in the NFL when you combine his age and the market size of the team he plays for. They're now 4-1. They just smoked the Rams yesterday. A big part of that was Micah Parsons putting up 2 sacks, 3 solo tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 forced fumble. The Obsidian, numbered out of 199, selling for $180 in a buy it now. Or the Orange Prism, non-autographed, numbered out of 249, selling for $50. He sells for a lot more than most other skill position players. Honorable mention here from this Cowboys game is my guy Tony Pollard. Absolutely love Tony Pollard. Been a big fan of Tony Pollard's running style for the last couple years. He was incredibly efficient yesterday, rushed 8 times for 86 yards on a touchdown, finished with a 90.4 PFF grade. He forced 3 missed tackles and had 75 yards after contact, despite receiving 14 fewer carries than his teammate Ezekiel Bloated Contract Elliott. He still outrushed him by 8 yards. You go, Tony Pollard. Blue rookie ticket, Contenders Optic Auto, $69.69. Red Optic rookie ticket auto out of $199 for $62. Stock is up. Number 10, we've got Bailey Zappy. We've got another rookie QB sighting, our third one, who led his team to a win, a shutout victory at home over the Detroit Lions, man. He was highly efficient, guys. He led New England to a 29-0 win. He was 17 of 21 for 188 yards with a touchdown and an interception, but since the interception came on a drop by wide receiver Nelson Aguilar, it doesn't necessarily count as a turnover-worthy play. And he did have 1 big-time throw. You can see the gold standard numbered 159 out of 199 for $200 in a buy it now transaction. That's what that Patriots market size, the rookie QB effect, can do to the market. Somebody's going to make money on this passport, probably sold today in auction. The one thing that Bailey doesn't have going for him is the fact that the starting job is likely to go back to Mac Jones once he's healthy. So we'll see how long Mac Jones is out for. But Bailey Zappy earned a lot of bonus points. Look at this 2 out of 10. Turn of the century cards, man. Super liquid, very popular. This one, really cool design too, sold for quite a bit of money, 2 out of 10 here. My honorable mention from the hype index from yesterday was Devonta Smith. His usage was pretty incredible. Was the target and reception leader. Came down with a clutch. 10 receptions, helped get his team to a victory. Still seeing very low transactions on things like more common things like optic hollows because there's so much supply. But when we go up to his rookie ticket autos and look like transactions after yesterday, definitely a few big ones like this one that popped off today, numbered out of 20. This one that ended yesterday for $49.99, one bid. Still probably a little bit more juice left to squeeze out of that orange right there. This one said best offer accepted, so you have to go look it up. This one also said best offer accepted, but the last green Pulsar down here went for about 130, so I imagine it's probably for a little bit more than that. I look at quite a variance here in Devonta Smith's Prism Silver PSA 10. Both ended yesterday, just an hour apart. One auction ended for $51. Before that, there was another auction a week before that ended for $96, and then one last night at 7:04 ended for $51. One at 8 ended for $103. Not quite sure what that was all about. I looked up both of these on eBay, and they look to both be legitimate, so I'm not sure why the big difference here. But whoever got this one at $51 got an incredible deal, man. Got an incredible deal here from Dilly Dilly Sports Cards. So shout out to whoever sniped that. All right, guys, now let me know in the comment section below how long before we get to see Sam Howell for the Washington Commanders instead of Carson Wentz. Got some honorable mention takeaways here. Brian Robinson, the man who took 2 gunshots to his lower body, is now back on the football field. He's also going to be featured this upcoming Thursday Night Football. So these transactions that I'm seeing, a lot of them go down today because they're at cheaper price tiers. It makes sense to potentially look at sniping some Brian Robinson on the low to do a quick flip here for the upcoming Thursday night game. Definitely getting an elevated amount of demand after yesterday. Very limited usage in the game yesterday. Rashad Penny fractured his tibia and is done for the season. So, like I always tell you, if you bought in, you hold, you maybe buy a few more during the injury time span, or you sell now while it takes the hobby time to react. If it's holding up a large portion of your bankroll, go ahead and sell now, break even just to move the volume, and or even take a 10% loss just to go ahead and sell. He's not exactly a spring chicken, but he's still pretty young, so I'm okay holding for next year. But also he's one of those guys that just continuously gets injured every year, so I wouldn't be upset if you said I'm gonna go ahead and break even, cut my losses, and get out. I personally don't have any of his cards, so I'm not in that situation, but that is what I would do if I did. One guy I am actively looking to do this with is Allen Robinson. You got to get out. His usage has decreased again. Only 4 targets. Ben Skoranek is now getting targeted on average more than him. Tyler Higbee is the secondary target leader. Tyler Higbee is essentially what we wanted Allen Robinson to be. It's not good, guy. The guy is definitely looking washed up. He's not separating. And Stafford is locking on to Kupp for good reasons. And then Higbee as a secondary. And then Ben Skoranek as a third. Who knows what will happen when Van Jefferson comes back. This is all target squeeze on A-Rob. He's still got some clout. So liquidate while you can. Get out. Sell, sell, sell. Break even if you have to. He's a guy you want to do that on. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.